Hey, I hope you're getting excited for your trip to Punta Cana. I have just wanted to walk you through your documents real quick. You received a similar email from me, and this is a generic version, so this is not specific to your particular vacation, but it'll give you a general idea of what's going on. Sometimes you'll also see, I'm going to click view trip, but a lot of times this is going to come across as view online or view in app. And if you view in app, it's going to prompt you to download the app, which is great for reasons like you can use the app on your phone without cell service or Wi-Fi, which is really handy when you're traveling. And then I'm just going to open it up online for right now for demonstration purposes. And it's going to open up similar to this. Sometimes your information and documents section pops up at the top. Sometimes it pops up at the bottom. I don't know the rhyme or reason, but just be aware of that. We're going to start with the boring part, the information and documents. This is the part that people like to skim through, but it's the most important part. So please take time to look through it. At first, you're going to see I've got your documents included. These are not even destination specific, but just to give you a general idea of what, kind of your documents will look like. That's going to be your general documents. That'll be your flight confirmations so that you'll have those. I'll also have them printed out and mailed to you as well. So you'll have a hard copy just in case you want one. If you tell me you don't want a hard copy, then this will be your digital version. What's important is who to call if you have any issues, right? So if you encounter any issues with your flights, talk to the gate agent. It does not have to be specific to the gate you're at, as long as it is specific to the airline that you're flying with. They have the most power, so be nice to them. They get yelled at all the time. So if you have flights that get majorly delayed to the point where you're going to miss a connecting flight or canceled, you do want to let me know, but in the meantime, you're going to be your best advocate. So go talk to the gate agent. You can also go through the app or your online account to see if you can make modifications there. The airlines have made it super easy to do that these days. So I would be on my app in line waiting to talk to a gate agent, trying to see if I could resolve it myself. If not, I'm already waiting in line to get to the gate agent to see what they can do. Uh, let's see, be sure to save all of your receipts if you have insurance so that we can make an insurance claim. Also, if your flight is majorly delayed, I would ask the gate agent for a hotel voucher if need be, a food voucher if need be, even a lounge voucher. Some of the VIP lounges, they don't have to give that to you, but a lot of times they're nice and they will. So, but if you're not having success, contact me and I'll walk you through it as best I can. Understand that there are limitations, like if there's not a flight leaving, I can't magically make one happen. So there is that. You can call me, text me, call or text if it's urgent. Also, I use the WhatsApp, so if you need to use that. If you have insurance, I will have listed it here as well for you. If there is a 24/7 phone number that you can call outside of me, I will list that as well. For the Dominican Republic, you do have to fill out a digital entry and exit form. I've given you the link right there and also information about it. So be sure to read through that. I know you're a grown adult, so you can handle all that. And I've also given you another link for some other information if you need that. So those are both great resources for you to check out. I talk about clearing and customs and immigration. When you arrive, when you're coming back into the US, you're going to have, if you have a layover, you will have to pick up your luggage at baggage claim and recheck it. This is going to be a great time to put any alcohol that you may have purchased in a duty-free store while you were waiting for your flight in your luggage, because if it's an odd shaped bottle or thick glass, it may not pass the security check and TSA will confiscate it. So just go ahead and stick it in your luggage, and then you don't have to keep up with it either. And then just go ahead and recheck it and you'll be good to go. Let's see. I've given you some more information about that. And I've given you a link for customs and duty information in case you have questions about what you can bring back into the US. So check that out. I know it's a lot, so it might not necessarily pertain to you. I've given you information on how to dial international phone numbers. Also, if you're staying at a resort that requires reservations for certain restaurants, as soon as I check in, I would go ahead and make those reservations. A lot of times those restaurants fill up and you can't get into them. So go ahead and do that as soon as you can. I've given you a couple of links here that you can check out. So check both of those out. One is going to be the airline restrictions when you are departing the Dominican. This was last updated in 2018, so it's not new news anymore, but you still need to be aware of it. So read through that. And also, I've given you a lot of information right here in this little handy dandy reference. So be sure to read through that. I know that's boring and not fun, but there's a lot of pertinent information for you there. Obviously, the ID required for travel is going to be a passport. Double check and make sure that it's not getting ready to expire because that'll be important. Of course, flight delays and cancellations are a real thing, so be sure to pack your patience and be aware that flights do charge luggage fees for your checked luggage, not carry-on. Most airlines will allow you one carry-on and one personal item. So if you want to avoid that, you can do it that way. Mobile passport app for arrival in the US, go ahead and download that now and get it set up because it's going to want pictures of your passport, a lot of information that you can go ahead and set up ahead of time. However, you cannot fill out the questionnaire until you are back on US soil. So don't try to fill out that questionnaire. Just get it set up. And then when you get back into the US and you take your phone off of airplane mode, go straight to that mobile passport app, fill out the questionnaire, submit it, you'll get a QR code, and then you're going to look for the mobile passport app line. Your airport may or may not have it, and even if they have it, it may not be open. So, but it's a super easy thing to do. That line is way faster, and you can just go, and just keep moving and not have to stand in a long line. So definitely go ahead and get it set up. That's a great resource and tool to use. I have had a couple of glitches with it. One time I had to do a hard restart on my phone because your phone will act kind of wonky coming back into the US from a foreign country. And then it worked. And I had another time that I actually had to be inside the physical airport before it would let me submit everything. Same airport. So I cannot define it. Just be aware that that is a thing. This is what we call a Travel 42 report. Be sure to read through it. It's going to give you a lot of information about Punta Cana, so I know that looks boring, but pay specific attention to the safety down here where it says personal safety. Be sure to at least read that, in health. Be sure to at least read those two things and the tips. Read those three things. Read it all. And then just remember, travel is an adventure. You never know what you're going to get. You're going to a different country, so their standards are different than our standards in the United States, so be aware of that. You're going to explore and experience their culture. So don't expect the same service levels. Don't expect the same food quality as you do here in the United States. Don't expect the same drinks as you do here in the United States. You are going to a foreign country. Um, COVID test, I do recommend you get tested before beginning your vacation. However, I travel all the time without doing it anymore. And I do give you a well-being travel checklist, just tips on how to stay healthy while you're traveling. And then, of course, I'm going to give you a COVID travel advisory. And now to the fun part where, you're actually traveling. So be sure that you check in online for your flight 24 hours prior to your flight. And I've told you what airline and also what your confirmation number is. So just go in online, check in, and so that you're ready for the next day. This particular flight leaves at 7:31, so this particular person needs to be at the airport at 4:31 a.m. You have to be at the airport at least 3 hours prior to your flight for an international flight. That being said, oh, let me back up a little bit. You could be denied boarding if you're not checked in at the airport at least 90 minutes before your flight. So definitely be there. I know it's a pain to sit and wait at times, but you need to be there. That's the rules. You could be denied boarding. So if you're going to a major airport like Atlanta, I would recommend that you get there 4 hours early instead of just 3. Also, if your flight is like a 5:30 a.m. flight, be aware that that would put you there at 2:30 a.m. And a lot of smaller airports are not open that early. I know for a fact that with my Birmingham airport, if I have a 5:30 a.m. flight, I'm still not getting there until 4 a.m. because security and the gate agents are not there until then. So, but I've told you the rules. Then I give you your flight information. Once you get to to Punta Cana, you're gonna be looking for your transfer. I've given you information about how to handle your transfers, depending upon which tour operator I'm working with. Also be advised that once you get there and you're going through the immigration hall, that people will probably come up to you offering you assistance. Ignore them and keep walking. There's going to be timeshare representatives. You want to just keep walking, just go outside. Follow whatever instructions I have there for you. But do be aware that there are going to be people trying to quote unquote help you, but they're not really going to help you. And then I tell you about your resort that you check in, what room type you have, that kind of stuff. And then you move on through your vacation. If you happen to have any tours or excursions planned, I've included that on a specific day, along with your confirmations as well. And then always remember 24 hours prior to your flight, even for your return flight, you've got to check in again. So, again, I've given you your airline and also your confirmation number. And then the day that you check out of your resort, be sure to physically check out. The transfer driver will need some type of proof that you have physically checked out and you have a zero balance on your account. So just be aware of that. Also be aware that when you are checking in, they are going to require a credit card for incidentals, and they will put a hold on that credit card. And I do always recommend that you use a credit card and not a debit card while you travel. If you have questions about that, give me a call. Let's chat about it. And so after you have physically checked out, you should have either reconfirmed your transfers already or had some type of instruction on where to be for your transfers. I will give you information about that here. And you can anticipate a return time of about 4 to 5 hours prior to your flight that your transfer will be picking you up. And that will be based upon how far away you are from the airport. They're going to give themselves an hour drive time and then also the 3 hour window. And then your return flights, and that is it. After you have listened to everything and read through everything, don't hesitate to call me. Uh, and let's talk through everything. It's easier to talk on the phone at this point because it's not going to be easy questions. So, hope y'all are getting excited. I hope you have a great time. I look forward to hearing from you once you get back and have a great rest of your day. Bye.